Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Underbelly Hours podcast. We have a very special guest with us here today, all the way from Dry City Brewery, which is like literally just 5 minutes away. Really great guy, really great brewery, huh?
Yes.
Yes, it's probably like 5 minutes away, so I don't know why it made it sound like it was like in Chicago. But really fun episode because we're going to talk about beer and brewing and all sorts of fun things. But before we get to that, we got to do the intro. So I'm Adela.
And I'm Dan.
And you're listening to an episode of the Underbelly Hours.
In my basement.
Take off your coat, stay a while!
Like listening to new music? Want to know a band before they get popular? Tune into the Underbelly Hours, Sunday nights at 6 p.m. on WRSC 88.7 FM, and discover the best of local, unsigned musicians. Don't miss out on the next big thing. Cute intro music.
That one actually seemed decent.
That was
That was
fun.
good.
We
That was a good
almost-
cold open.
Yeah.
That was a good cold open.
Okay.
Well, let's quit while we're ahead. Nick, thanks for coming by. This was a great episode.
All right, guys. So before we get into the heart of the interview here, I have to say something. Because yesterday, I saw a band that we had recently on the podcast live, and it was quite an experience. Talking, of course, about Broken Robots. Broken
Ew.
Robots had their EP release in
How was
Martyrs. It was incredible.
I
First
saw
of all,
some not snaps, but in your story.
oh yeah, I
In
put
our
up
story.
on the Underbelly Hours story, so you guys might have seen it a little bit. First of all, it was incredible because it was like the first show I've been in a live like venue setting since the pandemic started.
How did that feel?
That was pretty freaking awesome. It was incredible.
Was it like, what was the feeling in the room?
It was
just
like ecstatic.
electric?
Yes,
Just-
it was like absolutely electric. First of all, because, Martyrs is great, Broken Robots
Yeah.
are playing, but then also, Chicago opened up over this weekend, right?
Yeah.
All the restrictions are pretty much gone, so if people were just like having the time of their lives, there's still a capacity limit, of course, so it was up to 50 people or something. But everyone who was there, those 50 people were like dedicated fans, and they were singing along to every song. They were dancing, participating. Kat was like kind of doing a back and forth with the audience at times.
That's awesome.
Tony tried to like step out with his guitar into the audience, and he was like, probably not a good idea. Went back on the stage. Great time, fantastic, and I want to just point out that their energy in their songs carries through to a live setting super well, even though they don't have a drummer. Which is wild, right?
Yeah, do they use just like a drum track?
Tony
or?
added a drum track or something, drum loop onto his pedal board somehow.
Ooh.
I saw him doing a million things. Like you can hear before every song, just like click 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 click. He's like trying to change all the settings for every song. But rock band, 3-piece, no drummer, and absolutely electrifying. So if you ever get a chance to go see Broken Robots, definitely do because it's so worth it. So much fun. And plus, it's our first time at Martyrs, so
Yeah.
it's a really
I was
cool
super
venue.
bummed that I missed it, but I had a gig of my own.
Yeah.
At Dry City.
Showbiz.
Yeah.
That's
Showbiz.
showbiz.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, we should also shout out maybe some new music too.
We should, because we haven't done that in a while. So,
We've been slacking on our duties.
been slacking a little bit.
Duties. I will always make that joke.
Oh man, we're like just 5 years old here. But
Trying to pretend to be professional.
oh man, no, this is definitely not professional.
Oh,
this is
no.
just fun.
It's always duties, 69, and what's the other one? There's another easy joke with the.
Oh, no.
Well, those are the main two.
The main two,
But
yeah.
we draw the line at rude noises.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
Ah!
watch it.
Okay, sorry.
Speaking of duties and kind of neglecting them, we do want to talk about new music, but this time it's not necessarily new music that we kind of discovered on our own. It was through Chicagosoundcheck.com, which has a weekly fresh tracks
Shout
playlist.
out.
Shout out to Brian Shaney who puts that together. It's always a really cool eclectic mix of music, so whether you're a hip-hop fan, pop-punk fan, acoustic artist fan, you'll probably find at least something that you'll like on this playlist. And this week I have to say was really, really good. Like Girl Named Yuno had some stuff. There's a couple other new bands that I discovered through the playlist, which I'm trying to open up on my phone and it's failing.
Yeah, he's always on top of it with that
Oh my
playlist.
god, yeah.
I don't know how.
It's pretty incredible, right?
I mean, I wonder how much of it is his actual pursuit and discovery, and how much of it's people sending him stuff.
True.
I mean, both options are pretty cool.
Right. Well, I
'Cause
think
Pay to play.
It's
Oh, oh.
I don't know anything about that. It's about
this
just
is
talking
super
trash.
cool.
Already shots fired.
Right here. Fresh tracks. You guys can't see it at all.
Yeah,
but,
this is. We don't have a close up on front.
We don't have a close up. No. There's this artist that was really good, but I can't pronounce her name for the life of me. Do you think you could pronounce that?
I'm
Give
going
it a shot.
to try, and please do not
Don't kill
bite
us.
any. Don't. I'm sorry for.
I'm gonna
Yeah, no, I'm actually scared.
Okay.
Let me.
If
Do you mind? Don't
Yeah.
don't leave me out.
try it.
right, I just feel like I'll
I'm so-
offend someone.
I feel like I wouldn't do it justice, and I'd feel rude.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm
Ifani?
I
feeling.
mean, if it was in
Ifani?
black metal numerals, I'd probably be able to.
Right.
Ifani.
Ifani?
I think
Yeah.
Ifani.
Ifani?
Ifani?
Ifani Elswith?
Yeah.
You're a sick rapper. Please tell
So
us how
bad.
to pronounce your name because really liked your track on this week's
'Cause
playlist.
we're just stupid, ignorant fools.
We
Yeah,
are
I know,
ignorant
right?
fools.
Same. I'm gonna double check one thing.
Also, Roof Dogs were really fun, and a bunch of other things. I mean, there's a lot of summer songs on here. Arp and the Nice Boys released
Arp.
an EP, and it's super sweet.
Arp.
It's super like, it's summertime, somebody's jamming in a garage.
That's
It's a-
Andrew, right?
Yeah, Andrew
Yeah.
Robert Palmer. What a guy.
What a guy.
What
He
a
was so
guy.
much fun when he came in.
I know, he's such a nice guy. He's actually playing on June 18th at Homewood Trail Mix Festival, which is like a series of concert in the woods. So yeah,
I want to go to a concert in the woods.
check that out. That's all for my shout out for Fresh Tracks. We kind of just looked at it together. Do you have any
Yeah.
other shout outs to give?
I do want to throw a shout out to Ryan Herrick, of course, again,
Ah,
because he had a
Dance
show.
Crush,
Yeah.
guys.
I just love his music so much. He's so good on the guitar and then the singing and all the things
Why
that make a
hasn't he come on
song.
the show yet? In a long time. It's been like
Trying.
2.5 years.
Get back to me, Ryan. Jeez.
Ryan,
But he had a
come
show
on.
Friday that I was supposed to go to. But I had friends that attended, and they said it was
You sent your
phenomenal.
spies out.
I sent my spies,
Mm-hmm.
my usual black ops. And then I went to Spotify to check out, some of his music again and revisit that. And he dropped like 2 or 3 new singles that I didn't even
What?
catch. And I was kind of salty about it. I was like, the Facebook algorithm has failed me. I didn't get
Yeah.
any of his posts. And I went to his page and was like, was he
Is there a way to
posting this?
subscribe on
And, like, yeah.
Spotify itself to artists? I haven't looked into that actually.
It is, and when he last put out his EP, his
Mhm.
instrumental EP, it came up on my new releases and
Right.
everything. So I don't know why these
Come
slipped
on.
under.
Spotify, what you doing?
But I mean, he doesn't need my streams. He's getting up there. He's getting up there in the numbers. If that
He
means
is.
anything.
Yay! That's good to hear. Always good to see the talent is
Because
getting-
numbers are the most important metric
No,
to measure anyone's value.
but it is nice.
You are only as good as your stream number.
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's all about numbers.
it's all about the game. But anyway, congrats to Ryan. That sounds great.
Not enough Lemmy references.
And you know what? Speaking of just, let's move away from the numbers. Let's move away from music. Let's talk to Mik, because Mik is right here. He's a good guy. He's trying to figure out when he can slim in some sort of jokes. I can tell already forming in his brain.
gears
as
are
we're
turning.
I'm
talking.
trying, but we're
Gears are
lucky we
turning.
I don't have the internet on my phone because I'm trying not to use it. But then you guys started talking, and I'm like, ooh, what bands do I want to talk about? Ooh, how do we pronounce that name? I have an idea.
Do you have an idea?
I do, but I'm not. I think it's a Fanny. I think that's
Oh,
might be.
hey, more
Yeah.
hey
Fanny.
sounding.
The Fanny.
Fanny.
I was trying to look up Tupac Shakur's mother because I remember this big event on MTV years ago where it was basically Biggie and Tupac's mothers met for this
Aw,
live event or
what?
something like that. And I just remember this name being absolutely gorgeous, and I'm like, I wonder how you spell that. And here we are. So
Okay.
flashback 25 years or whatever.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. You're welcome. Sorry, that's my content. Bye. Thank you.
All right, so hold up. Don't go anywhere. We got so much to talk about. Could you introduce yourselves to our lovely audience of listeners? Just, I would say, let's have you introduce who you are, what you do for Dry City, And one of your favorite bands that one band you've been listening to lately.
Yeah.
Because favorite bands too
One
hard.
band? Ooh, it's difficult. Because I feel like I'm going to be promoting a lot of bands.
Yeah,
That's
I love
true.
so many.
Shout 'em all
So many
out.
people. Hi, my name is Mik Dempsey. I am the head brewer of Dry City Brew Works in the blessed city of Wheaton.
Wait.
And, okay, band I've been listening to lately. Oh, man. It's going to be, the latest from the band Panopticon. Once again, Into the Light. It's really good combination of black metal and bluegrass. If you've never heard...
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I'm writing this down. What is it called?
It's,
Black metal and
that's-
bluegrass?
Yeah, it's called Look up the artist Panopticon.
Pen?
Pan, Panopticon.
Such a badass name.
I do not have a catch because I have not seen him live. I have met him many times. I drink his beer.
Oh,
So he's
that's
also a
so
brewer.
cool.
Yeah, he's the head brewer. He's the head brewer of Hammerheart up in Minnesota.
Oh my goodness.
Very cool.
It's funny when I met him. I knew about Panopticon. My buddy Javi, who I used to work with at another brewery, he played this album and this awesome ambient bluegrass stuff that went into just amazingly passionate black metal. So, like, it's hard. It's hard to do that and be sincere, like, with that mix. Anybody?
Right.
Because sometimes, like, I've heard a mix of... There was a death metal band that did, like, a sea shanty in the middle of their song.
Yeah.
I forgot who it was. It kind of came off as not genuine, though. It was,
Yeah.
like, kind of, like, it felt forced.
A little cheesy, too.
It was a little cheesy. Like, I could see what they were going for, but... Bluegrass stuff, I'm so excited.
And it
to
makes
check
it.
out.
It's sincere. It's a sincere form of expression.
Okay.
It's all of his records are quality. Like
Okay.
I love his stuff. And he's just international. Kind of look up to the guy. But I met him at a local beer place because I knew they made Hammerheart beer, and that was just I was like I gave him a case of some stout from my old brewery that I worked at.
Nice.
It's him and his brother-in-law. They run the operation up there, and they were just doing a visit at the Bavarian Lodge, which is just a killer beer bar if you like beer and live in this area. Highly recommend, and really good German food. But I met them there, and then sometime later, I was looking at the liner notes on one of these Panopticon records. Of wait, that's the same guy. God, if I knew that and I met him the first time,
Would have brought, like,
it would
records
just would
over
have been
to
so.
sign.
It would have been so awkward, like more awkward than it already was. Like it's just like because I just half the time I'm meeting brewers at these other places, and I'm always just the Chris Farley show. Like every time, remember when you made that IPA? That was awesome. Or then musicians, it's the same way. It's really I'm just been around them enough, but it's still just kind of get a little too excited. But
Dude, feel that in my core.
100%.
And then even funnier, there's this other album called Frozen Bloom by this band called Ohava. Very good ambient black metal. And I'm reading reviews on it from my various outlets, and sure enough, Austin from Panopticon contributed to some of the work on that. And I'm like, cause of course he did, because I am just following. Like it's just another brewer shared that album on Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I'll give it a listen. And I was like, holy crap, it's great.
So cool. I'd love to hear that. I'm almost curious. Can we, like, put in a snip of a pinup? Or wait, will we get copyright sued? Because they're, like, big.
Copyright suit.
Ask Binder and Records.
We'll probably just
They won't be able to.
flag or something.
That's fine, right? Do we do it?
No.
No.
Look it up.
Look it up. Okay, fine. We'll
Look
just
it up.
look it up. It's spelled one more time. How do you spell that?
Panopticon.
N. Okay, got it right.
We just
Check it
started. We just started with. Check out the record, Kentucky. I mean, I get like all of it's so good. Just go and just check it all out.
Okay, cool.
I love the fanboying that's
Yeah.
happening right now. I love when people like they land on the bands that really
Bring something out of them.
Oh, we
Yeah.
got so many more bands
Yes.
to talk about. We're gonna have fun. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And I brought beer, so we're just gonna
There we go.
Hey, There we go.
gonna make this. Do we want to just
Well.
get rolling?
Yeah,
Talk
sure.
about let's
Let's like talk about one beer and then like introduce more about you and like kind of intersperse it. Woo!
Okay.
eco
I've got
products.
kind of a line. I didn't have a real plan here, but
Hey, young Jamie.
Yeah, I didn't know
A on the ladder
how
stuff.
many I wanted, but I'm finally 21.
Yeah.
I'll answer any questions you want, but I thought this beer's important to me because it's my first collaboration that I did with Dry City. This is like my first something I sort of planted the seed for because Dan and Jason down at Metal Monkey in Romeoville are good buddies of mine. In fact, I met Dan long ago when I played in a basement party. Singing some Pantera covers and something with this.
Okay.
I partied at his house. He remembered that, and I was like, I was trying to have like a business card, but I was so SOL. I just literally took a sheet, wrote my number, like, hey guys, whatever. It's just, I don't know how that would fly anymore, but
Right.
it was hilarious. But so Dan and I go way back,
Okay.
and we just wanted to
So you
make
got Godzilla on the cover?
yeah, it's the joke is kind of missed here, but this is my buddy Jonathan Grimm Art. He did the label. He does all the labels for Metal Monkey. We made this down in Metal Monkey.
Hold up a little bit more?
Pull it up.
Because the microphone is blocking.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Here, can you see that? Is that a good angle? Now, what's so fun is that we made this beer. It was kind of because Kong versus Godzilla was going to come out, and we're like, oh, we gotta do a play on that. They're Metal Monkey. And we're Wheaton. What the hell do we do? We're pint size compared to their operation. But it's like, okay, well they have to be Kong, you know.
Yeah.
So there is their packaging down there has a different label with Kong in a battle vest. And so it's an awesome compliment. You can get them both.
Yeah, if you get them
You
both,
go down to
okay.
Romeoville, you get theirs. You come up, you can get ours.
Cool.
And if you put them next to each other, doesn't like the picture
Yeah,
actually.
it's a diorama. It's a diorama.
Oh,
Now the
I
trick
love
is
it.
how do we justify? So instead of the Metal Monkey, Kong is in the battle vest. Wheaton has a reputation for highest churches per capita. So
So obviously Godzilla, right?
well,
Yeah.
but
God.
Churchzilla. Notice that the spines on his back are all steeples. We thought that'd be a fun play
That's
to
funny.
not
That's
be.
great.
Pretty great.
Yeah, that was a
That's funny.
great idea. Like I made that dumb joke, and then Dan told John down there, he's like, "Hey, can you think you could render this?" I solved it. He sends me this picture, and I'm like, you know, I mean, like
That's incredible.
trying not to fanboy about it, but
No,
yeah.
definitely fanboy. Fanboying makes podcasts more interesting.
Well,
Right.
hey, well, we'll try. We'll just ride this wave of enthusiasm. So,
Alright.
this one, what was great is that the owner of my brewery, Ben, met with me and Dan and Jason. I hadn't really done any of these before, so I just wanted to kind of let them kind of figure out what they wanted to do. And so many beers nowadays are super popular that are all. There's a lot of just fruit mixing IPAs, and a lot of places do that really well. Can't say that's something. Never say never, but that's just we wanted to make kind of a old school style Belgian strong, but not too strong. We didn't want you to get. We didn't want everybody vomiting. Hey, you know what? I just
Here.
no. He works here. Damn it! I'm gonna. I've had it before. Here.
Do you want some?
What's up?
Do you want some?
Oh, I got a little. I got a little.
There you go.
I've been here before. You
I
guys,
just
this is for
wanna-
you guys.
Alright.
Trying to
sure.
take care
Well,
of
thank
you.
you. Thank you
So,
for-
no
Cheers.
problem. Cheers.
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 This is fun. Look at this.
Cheers to Josh.
I don't know. Yeah, cheers. I just don't even. You smell it. There's a very strong, like almost raisin component to it.
Oh my god. I like it.
Yum.
Yeah, we added candy
It's
sugar to it.
Sweeter than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that's what you go for.
So what is the type of beer in specifically?
Belgian strong dark.
Okay.
We just made it not as strong. Like normally you go 14%. This is like a good upper sevens.
Nice, you can see it.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Visual component.
So how does
Visual component.
what does a collaboration with another brewery look like?
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
are you
there's-
guys passing notes or collaborating? Like, do we want this much or that much of this and that? And
It was kind of like they came, sat with us. We talked about the idea of what we wanted. They had a few beers, feeling out what we have going on. They came up just to check out the place because, I mean, that's a good solid drive
Right.
from Romeoville. So we just kind of talked about it and just thought it'd be fun. And for me, it's all a learning experience because I I'm making beer. I'm proud of the work that I make, the beer that we do. But I'm always trying to learn and just keep getting better at it. Right. That's just the constant process. So in particular, this whole thing was working on a system as large as theirs was pretty nice. I have worked at a previous brewery that was just as big, but it was kind of I just needed to keep her moving. I was brewer adjacent, and basically just cleaning tanks a lot, and it was fun. So riding this wave of enthusiasm, and it'll keep working.
But just to like dig a little bit further, because neither of us know much about like collaborations or brewing much. So do you guys like did you meet in Dry City and like
they came up to Dry City
together there at the spot, or did you go back to Metal Monkey and did you guys like exchange notes and then arrive at like a brew?
You know what we did? We initiated this. Brianna, my assistant brewer, and I, we just had a Friday, and that was when things were starting to ease up, early spring, and we just drove down there to say hi, and we brought a couple of growlers and stuff, and they're just buddies. I've seen Dan and Jason at metal shows, back when you could do that before, but we just kind of went down, said hi, and kind of planted the seed, and then I kind of reached out, followed up, hey, when you want to come up and talk. And I got Ben, my owner, there with me, and we kind of sat and just kind of hashed out what we think would be a good idea.
Okay.
And they had a vision for it, and I wasn't going to say no.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm just happy to host and have guests, and I think this beer turned out splendidly.
Nice.
So,
Cool.
Yeah.
So so you're somebody who seems passionate about two things, brewing and metal, and music in particular. So which of those passions came first? Like, what is something that you kind of discovered first, metal or brewing?
Okay,
did metal bring you to beer? Or did beer bring you to metal?
It's kind of weird because I've been a fan of metal music for a long time, but before the internet was so accessible, like I'm right on that millennial cusp. First 20 years of my life were the 1900s, and then the second half, college and on, 2000. So the world, very different place. So my access to metal was, what you could pick up at the local stores and stuff like that. And I was a theater major in college. I studied music and always enjoyed this stuff, but metal was always sort of there. By the time I was doing theater out of college, I kind of failed up. I kept getting gigs. I don't know. I was proud of my work as an actor, but it was always kind of weird being the one guy who's like, I do dig Sondheim, but have you checked out Iron Maiden?
Right.
Kind of hard to relate. I was that guy who was always like in college going, yeah, but wait, one more song. I really don't like these growly vocals. But wait, this song! This is gonna change your mind. Right. And it's just like, the vocals are losing. But the guitar's so good! Why do you, it's alright, you can listen to, oh man, I could name so many, Gilbert and Sullivan. Well, I mean, that's pure art, but, sometimes it's just, it's just a different game.
It is, yes.
And being metalhead, there's always that kind of pejorative, you don't respect music. It's like...
Which I don't know how that kind of came about, that idea, that like metalheads are like, they just like noise. Because, the noise is a huge component to it, but I feel like there's so much like artistry and musicianship that goes into making metal that I don't really know like why that stereotype exists. I feel like too many people don't like go past the first layer of like maybe is like this aggressive maybe sound that they're kind of being turned off by.
It's more metal to me. Oftentimes is more like classical music.
True.
You're kind of getting the whole picture. You've got to take it all in. It's sometimes longer forms.
Yeah,
some albums, they're more. It's not so much like here's a song. Oh, look at this little radio thing. They're not designed for radio. It's just all about the experience. You can. I don't know. It's hard to articulate because I think one of the greatest barrier for entries is the vocal delivery. Yep. Because that growly stuff isn't for everybody, and I think
it's like people just don't hear it anywhere else. Right? That's a big thing.
Yeah. So nobody ever over like the course of their life develops a ear for it unless they
I'll say
were brought
consistently
into metal.
and consistently try
listen
to try to listen to it, right?
Yeah, and I think some people just are more prone to liking. I mean, I don't know what develops people's tastes, but it does seem like more. There's a type of person who's more metal inclined and appreciates the growling and the pig squeals and whatever else is going on in the heavier stuff, and some people just don't. And I don't know. I feel like me personally, it's an interesting case because I like a lot of metal,
What do you
but I
like?
like a lot of melodic stuff. I want the singer. I want.
What sort of like? Tell me some bands. I want to hear. Like what's your
like the classic stuff like Anthrax and Megadeth. And,
Okay, big four.
Yeah, the big four, of course.
Right on.
And then some other thrashier shit, but newer stuff like Tremonti's solo stuff,
Okay.
where it's like
He's a dude from Creed, right? Tremonti, wasn't he the guitarist in
Alter
Creed?
Bridge. I like to.
Alter Bridge.
Oh, you got it. Okay, I see where you're going. Yeah,
Creed
yeah.
sucks and Alter Bridge is good.
And Alter Bridge is the one with
Miles Kennedy.
Miles Kennedy. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a beast. Okay.
Yeah, and so he said with his solo project that it's like, yeah, it's all the riffs that basically the drummer in Alter Bridge can't keep up with. So it's a lot. It's like, I'll throw riffs around at practice, and the ones that we can actually jam on usually end up being Alter Bridge, and the ones that he's like, not me. And it goes into Tremonti. So where there's still elements of metal, it's at the core, but there's still a lot of more like melodicism.
Okay. Yeah.
Melody to it.
Fair. So okay.
But I have listened to some like Opeth.
Okay. That's some long form that can go all over the place. Yeah.
And he started to get me to appreciate the more like
aggressive
growls
growly.
and what do you call the?
Isn't it just like growls?
Well, I mean, it's
growls.
just, I mean, you could
Like the-
growls. Like there's so many that like some sound more hissy.
Yeah.
It's, like
I think of it. You know what helped me to
But I
get
think
more
it's
into
like
metal is
the more I listened to it, the more I was like, it was starting to take a hold on me, and so. But I'm also of the mindset of like, I gotta at least give it a solid chance now. I've been kind of knocking it for so many years of being like, well, I like metal, but not when they're screaming. I need to understand what they're saying.
well, and then
It's
you
like,
have those friends who are like, you have like, hey, you like metal? Hey, check this one out. Somebody did a ska version of Pantera, and like. Oh, finally, it makes sense.
You're right.
Does it add up to you? Pantera's like there's some songs, but it's just kind of the whole voix of that is a little Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Not my scene.
Yeah,
Not my
yeah.
scene. But
what's interesting is when I started getting more into it when I thought of it as like a vocal percussive kind of element to it, because it like adds a new layer of texture instead of a because I didn't listen to metal for a long time because of the whole stereotype of like I grew up very Catholic, Polish person. So like Satan is in the music.
yeah.
But then if you like, there's so many really interesting things that go on in metal. I think it is worth, if you're interested in music at all, to check it out. I think, I don't know, but you don't have to have a certain mindset. You're right, it isn't for everybody. I feel like even pop, if you really like pop music and that's like your main go-to, I think it's gonna be very
your
difficult
ear's
for
just
you.
not going to.
Yeah. But if you're into classical music, for example,
Then
I
there's
think
a lot
for
of
classical music there is a lot of like overlay that you can kind of,
Because a lot of metal
a lot of
music
listening techniques you can kind of use
is
for that
like
too.
directly inspired by classical music.
It comes. There's a part of it, but then you get when. It's
just the
such
intricacy.
you say metal and it means so many
You're
things.
right. There's the,
so many different Black Sabbath, the founders of metal. Okay, and then if you listen to, I don't know, for example, Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
Does that sound anything like Black
Oh,
Sabbath?
I gotta call my buddy Sean. Cannibal Corpse is his like favorite band.
Oh, they're fun. They're fun.
Yeah.
They're totally fun. But it's just all these different genres. But there's instrumental, the post-metal stuff, doom metal.
Well, there's that whole like, there's an old meme back in the day where it was just like the web of metal.
Yeah.
And it's just like this never-ending web that just keeps going and it like falls off the picture.
Yep.
And
It keeps going. It keeps
Yeah.
progressing, and then you'll find a new thing.
Right, and there's just so many different subgenres of metal that it's like
It's
you can't
contrarian
even say
in its
metal
nature,
anymore
though.
because
Yeah.
it's so
That's like
broad.
people losing their shit about Iron Maiden not getting in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's kind of like, oh no, they'll never get validated.
Yeah.
While they fill stadiums all across the
The
world.
Rock and Roll Hall
Oh,
of Fame
poor
is a
Maiden. No, those guys.
joke.
Well, yeah.
For like the last
okay,
couple
well,
of decades, it's been a
yeah.
joke.
We just met. I didn't want to make any assumptions.
No,
but
it
it's
is
just
a joke.
Yeah.
It's fine. We can say that.
Yeah, just I don't know.
Speaking of the Webs, you mentioned that obviously you're a huge like lover of metal music. What are some of your favorite like genres of metal?
Okay.
Like, you don't have to go through your whole palette, but just a couple.
Okay.
Pinpoint a couple.
Like
Eventually
my
go through
first.
the entire web.
I kind of like. I was an Ozzy. Like Ozzy was kind of one of my first gateways. So a lot of traditional metal. Iron Maiden, big Iron Maiden guy. Some guy in college called me Iron Maiden, and it was just like, because it's just like I had the shirt and I was the only dude around who was doing that. It's like, well, fair enough. I guess I'm the token, but. So, and then I did spend a significant amount of time in a Ronnie James Dio tribute band. So that's
Wow.
the guy who followed Ozzy on Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I have that traditional route. I mean, mostly because of my time in musical theater, that's kind of where my voice lies. I'm not a growler. I would love to be as a vocalist, but I've never tried. I'm not going to green eggs and ham anything, but that's a huge one. So on the other hand, black metal, I've really just enjoyed. Wolves in the Throne Room, that is just such an experience. It's so vast and intense. Panopticon, another one, but that's such its
It's a
own
very
Now,
niche.
what aspect makes black metal what it is? Like, what?
There's a lot of
what's the-
shady stuff
What's
that
the
can go.
differentiating factor where it's like, well, that's not quite black metal because you know,
It's
what-
a hard line to draw.
I feel like for most genres, it's kind of hard though. You know?
Yeah,
At
it's-
this point, everyone's like so influenced by other genres that like it can get difficult. But characteristics, like, are there any you would pinpoint as far
Yeah.
as that goes?
something that's so,
Vocals
like,
vocals generally 90% of the time are more raspy.
okay,
Like I wouldn't even call them growls because you can get the or the
right,
two different kind of approaches. Loud and powerful to the point where it's almost it's ambient, but it's almost like it's like the sound of falling rain, like hard falling rain. It's coming at you so much that it is calming.
Wall of sound kind of.
Yeah, like a wall. A lot of blast beats, just like drums going really fast, guitars waving really fast, vocals legible or not, can kind of go either way. Definitely going for an ambient feeling. The roots kind of shady. There was a lot of murder and a lot of bad stuff that started there, but that's not for me to say. That's it's kind of like I watch football and have never done any bad stuff that I watch the football players do. So
Right.
just
You've never
it's kind of a different line. Sometimes you got to separate.
That's interesting that you
Yeah.
described it as, like rain, like a hard rain, where it's just
That makes a lot of sense.
constant pouring.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like if we just kept pulling out, how much copyright infringement we could do and just go, now listen to this and listen to that.
But most of the metalheads I know do, like, I don't know, they're very chill people, actually.
It's therapeutic.
And, yeah, so it's interesting to hear that it's almost like an ambiance to it. It's a relaxing chill because it's almost like, some people really relax to the sound of pouring rain.
Right.
And puts them out real quick. And metal
Keeps
could
me
be
human. Keeps me sane. I mean, I'm a nerd. I'm not I know I wear this stuff and I just like music, so I'm wearing it, and I'm a total cuddle bear. I'm not going to hurt a fly, but
Yeah, most of the metalheads I know are like vegans and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Right.
super into like animal protection.
just like on the bear aesthetic, I know how I
Yeah.
look, but it's like,
I'm
if you,
cuddling the bears.
I'm a total sweetheart, but if this is a deal breaker for you, then we probably shouldn't even be friends anyway. So whatever.
Nice.
But I'm very nice. So
Okay.
yeah, well, I have more cans for you. This is all Boy, yeah. Let me bring out something else that'll get into
Sure.
self-promotion. This is my friend's brew.
Right, and then we'll talk about how you actually got into brewing.
Okay, sure. I could give you all my life story, but let's get drinking too.
No, I'm interested.
Open the gates to Hellas Lager. This is from my friends at Two Hound Red in Glen Ellen. My buddy Steve.
Hold it up to the camera.
He's been taking. He took the reins over there this winter.
I love not album.
Yeah.
I call it album art.
It is
because
like that though.
looks like
That's so much. Beer is so much
Right?
like music.
Like, I love, one of the reasons I started getting into just, like, microbreweries is because of, like, the beautiful cans
Right.
that people have, right?
Help
they
yourself.
really do.
Thanks, man. Got a 4-pack so we can all enjoy
So
it when
this
it's
is
finished.
from who? You mentioned one more
Two
time?
Hound Red in Glen Ellen, literally
Okay.
about a mile down the road that way. They're my neighbors. They have a lot more facilities that I end up using to help kind of keep my brewery going.
It's a chimera-looking beast.
Looks like a displacer, but I think that is specifically it's supposed to be Cerberus.
Regarding
The gates
these,
gets to help. Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
Cerberus.
Mhm.
Because
yeah,
this
it's
is
Cerberus. Yeah,
80s. I'm trying to find the third head. That's what's throwing me.
I think it's just the angle.
Yeah, no, because I
But this
see the
guy,
neck
this
of
the artist who did this, his name's Kyle. He did. I don't know if you've ever had New Holland brews. He did a lot of the labeling for New Holland.
Okay.
So that's Mad Hatter and Dragon's Milk. He did all that stuff. I met him once.
Also the
friend of a friend.
the fossil
crack
things.
and-
What are those called?
Trilobites.
Yes,
Not enough trilobites on beer labels.
Wait, where?
They're in the kind of.
they're really dark.
It's almost
They're
like the
faded.
watermark
Yeah, it's like watermark.
on the side. Yeah, the lighting. You can see it in that angle. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta.
I probably don't think
This
you guys
probably
can
isn't
see
gonna show
it
up on the camera. It's too dark, but
I'm gonna try and take a picture for our Insta
that's really cool.
Yeah, but
because that's so cool. Wow.
yeah, this Steve just makes awesome stuff, and
Yeah,
he's a friend. I mean, come to Dry City, drink all our stuff. We don't have anything in cans other than this. We do growlers, which I'm gonna break out another growler, but this is canned at Two Hound Red, and I wanted to show this because we're going to be canning at Two Hound Red with a project
Ooh.
that I worked on, so I wanted to show off some of Steve's work. So, hi, Steve. Hi, Terrence.
Nice.
Ooh,
Smooth.
yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, I figured, we start strong.
Yeah.
I got a whole story, but
Oh, palate
normally I would have
cleanser.
lined them up all differently, but
That's
that's
okay.
all right. Just this one you can get
Yeah,
6 or
'cause
7
I'm
of these
usually-
without flinching.
Yeah. This
I'm honestly not usually a lager guy, and this is
No, but it's a
Delicious.
real lager, like
depending
Yeah.
on the day.
with flavor. Like this is.
This is a nice summertime beer.
He makes good stuff.
Speaking of.
kind of gross. I just
Yeah.
it's so dark, and I'm not a dark guy at all. But something is just so fascinating about hell imagery.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Oh, dude, are you
And-
kidding me? Yes.
Steve-
I think it's
Gothic hell.
Is it
Look
just
up
the
Dante's Inferno.
No, and that's what I was just about to get
the-
into. Have you ever actually read Dante's
Yes,
Inferno?
and I have the
it's the most
version
horrifying thing.
But I have the version with like the
The
who
yes,
the hell made the like,
every cantus there's a little
yes the guy who made like the illustrations. He's like super famous.
yeah. There's like a little foreword before every cantus to kind of describe like the contextual things that are happening, because he'll be like, oh yeah, Dante's really talking about this family from Italy and this.
Yeah, it's
you know,
people he
Gustav-
politically didn't agree with.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's so
and he
great.
threw him in like the
He
fifth circle
throws
of
him
hell.
in hell.
It's like,
It's so funny.
screw this guy.
And then like if you look at like why the people were thrown in hell, and then the people who are in like purgatory, and you're like, damn, some of these people have like very similar crimes. I wonder why this guy's in purgatory and not in hell.
Somebody
It's funny.
Mickey
Mess
Mouse
with
is over there,
Dante's
but
wife.
Bugs Bunny's down in hell. Like
Right.
just a Disney guy.
Yeah, Gustave Dore is the guy who illustrated it. It's so good.
and it's
Love it.
I don't know. It's just so like it's something that maybe because it's
Kyle Bice is his name, who did the art. I believe I could tell you his Insta off the top of my head, but I can't. He's also like, he's a multi-talented fella. And then Steve, he's a metalhead. That's kind of one of our bonding things because we worked at previous projects and we nerd out. And he and I like, we are both identify as metalheads, but there's a narrow Venn diagram of the stuff we both enjoy. It's really kind of fun.
That's cool.
It's fun to just share
Awesome.
that. It's like martial arts. Metalheads and martial artists can be the same thing. It's like,
There's a lot of martial arts.
I really only like my own stuff, and it's better than yours.
Yeah.
Even though we're both into the same thing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just, I don't know, the fate of metal that it was always going to be paired with, like, hellish imagery or dark stuff.
Yeah, but now D&D's popular now, too,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, but, like, when Black Sabbath was, making the genre pretty much, it was kind of like to combat all the bubbly, flowery stuff from the 60s. They were kind of like, life's a little bit darker than what you guys are trying to sell, and that's kind of...
It's
and
true.
But maybe that's what just set everything in motion and it just became a building.
But then the demonic thing can be played out, and then you get different stuff. There's like what's the band that's really popular? Amon Amarth. It's all Norse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there's even Hellenic metal that does the Pantheon.
I've always wanted to get into that.
What's
I
the
haven't
one?
had a chance yet.
There's so many themes, like Electric Wizard. That's doom metal. I don't know if you ever. That's the one where it's like it's almost like I say it. It's kind of like if Black Sabbath is the origins of everything of all
Metal.
Christianity and everything. Doom metal is like the Orthodox Church, where all the other traditions evolved. Doom metal just kind of went and maintained the decorum that they have, and it sounds like Sabbath. They wrote themselves. My buddy's Black Road. They kind of channel that real heavy blues vibe. They love the horror genre giallo. I don't know how it's pronounced. Giallo, I think, is the most anglicized way to put it. The Italian horror movies.
Okay.
They got some good shit out there.
Okay. Nice.
But yeah, Doom. That's the best way I describe Doom, and that's like Paul Bearer, Chemist. I don't know if
I've heard.
Chemist is bad at. That's another one. I have such a fascination with brewers who make music, and Chemist is another one of those. He's the head brewer of where is it? True Brewing, which is probably somewhere on here, but that's in Denver. TRVE. He has the band Chemist. He also has a black metal band called Black Curse. And then he just released, I think it came out on Friday, an album called Go Ahead and Die, where he had the privilege.
What a mood!
No, like, and it's I haven't given it the full listen,
I can
but
relate.
it's
right?
it's the Cavaleras.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Cavaleras are Sepultura. The original found is Sepultura from Brazilian metal, like superstars. And
That's so
Zach
cool.
is just his name's Zach Coleman, brewer at True, and
It seems like
he's amazing. Like he makes killer beer. People know him for his beer, but then some people don't know that he's got this metal band going.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I could gush like Canyon of the Skull. This shirt. That is Eric Ogershock, the head brewer of. He's the brewer of War Pigs America.
Okay.
He contracts out. He goes to all these other breweries, and he's just so good.
I think I've had their beer.
Canyon of the Skull is an instrumental. He's from Texas. He's got Native American roots, and it's all very tribal in that sense. And the guy who does bass with him on stage is the Titan Todd the Axeman. Todd, who's formerly of Surly and now of Three Floyds. He makes some killer beer. And then their drummer is a coffee roaster. I believe he works at Dark Matter. His name's Mike.
Yeah.
And he's also in the Atlas Moth and Broken Hope. And
I see that though. I feel like
I still haven't even talked about what I'm supposed to be talking about.
That's the whole
We'll get there.
podcast
We'll
are,
get there.
This
This is gonna be a fun.
I feel like there's a
long
lot
one.
that makes sense though. Like people who are into something that's you need to be intricate in your musicality, intricate in how you pick up the flavors for brewing, whether it's be coffee or beer or whatever. I think that's a fun intersection, right?
Yeah, and it seems like it's a lot more of a common thing than I would have ever thought. And
Yeah,
it seems like there's a
honestly.
real culture or scene or subculture around, brewers and metals, musicians,
It
metal
almost
bands.
makes me
Is
want
that-
to go for it. Sorry.
Well, I mean, how well versed are you in that scene, or how intertwined are you in that scene? Do you know all these
Of what?
breweries that
Have
or
metal.
brewers that are also metal?
I think
musicians?
what's funny is just that there's a. I think this is just kind of a passage through time because, honestly, listening to another podcast called Vox and Hops Metal Podcast. I'm saying that.
That's funny.
That's kind of
there you go.
important. They were interviewing Chris Bogus and Todd Ho from Three Floyds Brewing, and those guys are kind of the founders of the metal beer
Metal
scene.
brewing.
Yeah, like they kind of the owner Nick Floyd. He's into metal in the fantasy genre. They kind of changed my life, but long story short, I went to Three Floyds 15 years ago. I was in a production of Grease, and it was just down the block.
Not.
Yes, I was. I was the guy who moons. I was the guy. Yeah, I spend my days just mooning. Like I did all that.
Oh man.
But no, my roommate was in it too.
That's the worst musical of all time.
Oh,
I hate Grease.
I mean, paid the bills for the time.
That's fair. I'm not judging.
No, I know.
just think it's
I
funny.
you know, that's like sometimes I make these beers that people love, and are they something that I love?
Right.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. But if they're enjoying it, it's not like, well, I don't like that. You shouldn't have that. Here, get that out of your mouth. What is that?
How sick of you are? No.
That's
I'll bring
go
that up
ahead.
later.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. It's kind of like people. I like seeing people happy.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
somebody was talking to me about a certain beer, and I go, well, let me explain it this way. I may sing the blues, but I don't have them. You know?
Yeah.
Nice.
After production of Grease, we went down to Three Floyds out of Kanicki's recommendation. He was awesome guy. Then I had an Alpha King, and it was like, okay, I was more of a Guinness and Jägermeister sort of a bro. And I had Alpha King. I had no, don't apologize. Wait, don't, yeah, this is all for approval. I just need everyone's approval. Clearly, I'm insecure. That's why I came here. I just came here for love. I thought you were gonna tell me I'm great the whole time. That's all I wanted. At least you didn't go. You didn't do none of that because this
is good.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely it is.
I'm not just saying that, by the way, but
No, I know. But I just had I had an Alpha King, and then I had a Robert the Bruce, and man, it was just life changing. And that was that Three Floyds tap room. I hope they open it sometime. And they weren't gonna reopen it so willy nilly, because Nick Floyd said nobody should die over a beer. But maybe hopefully they'll reopen it sometime. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They do. At that place, that kind of was my start. But what they ended up doing was, when the guys, roundabout. Todd and Chris were talking about how when they were part of the brewery that they were working at, all the other dudes were hippies. There's a huge scene.
I could see it.
More like.
Jam
More
bands.
notable, yeah, a lot of that in the scene, and for them that was what it was like around here. Any craft breweries that we had, and they kind of started this metal thing, and I think so many people kind of latched onto that that now there are many of us. I don't consider Dry City to be a metal brewery. I'm just a metalhead who makes beer.
Yeah.
But we've got Metal Monkey down in Romeoville. We got Sound Growler down in Tinley Park. Even to the Rabid Brewing in Flossmoor, that they've got a vibe. They're metal. They totally do metal too. And then man, even this new one, First Forest, that just opened up. They've got this kind of aesthetic, and then all over. There's Hammerheart, Minnesota. Surly is even metal because Todd. It's just you kind of help build that identity. There is a thing, but it started off as kind of it was the little that one, it was identified as more of a hippie thing. Yeah, and then the metalheads kind of came in, built their reputation, get Dark Lord Day, which is just one of the most amazing metal fests you can get once a year. And that's their Imperial stuff.
That's like literally like the parallel to Black Sabbath actually started. Like it was all just a counter to the hippie movement.
But now you have that scene because Three Floyds is so ubiquitous. Their beers are solid.
Yeah.
But then there's this other wave that's just kind of like, well, the metalheads doing stuff. We're gonna do this hippie thing. Like you're gonna have that. It's sort of a contrarian cultural thing. So every
That's cool, though.
wave though, it's kind of like There's the guys who are into it, and then there's the guys who are not, and then they're kind of like, well, those guys are having a good time. We're going to have our good time over here. And
With fish.
yeah, absolutely. But it goes both ways. So many of them. I mean,
Trey Anastasio.
yeah.
I like
that
that
it?
though. No,
Trey?
I don't know.
But there's so many ways you can connect, in so many different places. I love it, and I like Metropolitan in Chicago. They're a lager brewery, and they just did. My friend Alexi, they made a Dortmunder lager called Humbucker, and it's and they're not outright
the guitar
metal.
pickers.
I mean, their robot logos are metal, and they're metal heads. I see them at the shows all the time, but they're not like right in your faces about it. But some put it out there and it's a part of them. Some they just make beer and it's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Vox on Hops.
Yeah, Vox and Hops.
Vox and Hops.
Yeah.
Metal podcast.
Yep. Heavy metal podcast based out of Montreal.
It seems like they're kind of covering the whole beer metal vibe scene.
They are
Everyone
one
of
of
those guys.
they're one of the three as far as I'm concerned in the beer and metal. They are I think they're the most it's unique because what you have is these different aspects of the culture. There's the rock and roll beer guy, Eddie. He's out in L.A. He was a beer rep who was in bands and stuff, and he has awesome guests. They all kind of share the same rotating. Then there's my local affiliate, which is Heavy Hops. That's Alexi and Sam, and Alexi runs Scorched Tundra. He's kind of the most intermixed because he's a booker. He can book shows, and then he's also been a beer buyer. He's been so well versed in the industry that it's
That's really
he's
cool.
really good.
That's awesome.
And then you have the other category, which is Vox and Hops, and that's Matt he's the vocalist of the band Cryptopsy. So he's a beer enthusiast who is in the metal and makes metal, and he has a killer guest list, and just a way of he started only a couple years ago, and I listened to it a lot, and he's just so friendly, and I just kind of I'd message him going, dude, this is killer background for my brewing day, and it's just so sweet and responsive.
Yeah.
And now they're doing a little tour thing.
They're
Or
doing
sponsoring.
it's called Vox and Hops Brutal North America. A couple months ago,
Brew.
Brutal
Oh, we love
B-R-E-W.
the
We'll
pun.
post the graphic on the we'll do it in
Yeah.
post.
Yeah.
Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah, I don't know how to promote things while going, and I love this, and I love this, and I love this. I'll be more concise. Yeah, June 23rd, we're releasing a very special beer through Vox and Hops, where he reached out to an alumni from his show and paired it with a brewery, and he asked me to do it, and I kind of like, Matt, my brewery is incredibly small. We're like a tap room.
Yeah.
You really sure? And he's like, yeah, dude. I'm like,
I love that.
I'll ask. I got permission from my high ups, and they said yes. I was like, okay, now I got to figure this out. I also got man, you're gonna have to edit the hell out of my ums because this is gonna be the show real quick. It's just hard to put it all in
No
in
worries,
words.
dude.
And it's just Matt said, okay, and then we'll pair you with a band. What do you think of Yakuza? And I'm just like, Bruce Lamont, the lead vocalist of Yakuza. Yes, he's my hero.
Oh, nice.
I was just kind of like, okay, he's in so many bands. I've seen him multiple times in so many different outfits. So it was just sort of exciting. Before I know it, I'm on a Zoom meeting
Wow.
with two lead vocalists of metal bands, and I'm the brewer here kind of going, okay, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Because, truth be told, I'm still working on making my beer better. So I'm talking to these guys, and we set up a meeting, and the whole band Yakuza comes over,
Nice.
and they just try some of our beers, and we hang out, and came to the conclusion that they wanted to make something bold, unique, and not for everybody. So what they wanted to do was a red IPA with pepper spice.
That sounds so much fun.
That does. Sound, that
So
sounds
excited.
right up my alley.
So excited
Would you like to
it.
try some?
No, you're lying. You have some?
Oh
my god!
Now,
God damn.
the thing is that I wanted to show off Two Hound Red because Steve at Two Hound Red is going to let me can this. So that's tomorrow's project. Brianna and I are going to get up bright and early with Steve and Terrence, and we're going to can Blood of Our Enemies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Blood of Our Enemies.
This is
Love
so
that
cool.
name. Also the fact that they're called Yakuza. Which
Yakuza.
is the Japanese mafia.
I couldn't.
Like, I'm
I'm
just
saying
like,
Sama Yakuza.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you where the name came from, but their
Yeah.
music is
I'm so
awesome.
well, we're anime geeks, so.
Oh, right on,
Yeah.
right on.
We've heard.
I did Ranma 1/2.
I love Ranma.
I did Ranma. My that was and then
Tell us how you really feel.
Studio Ghibli. I did Studio Ghibli. Like
yeah.
I'm so, and then like Castlevania. But does that even count?
Yeah.
Like I just feel like there's so many,
Counts, but
so many years of me kind of going. I don't know.
just try Attack on Titan.
I tried.
Yeah.
I did. I can't.
Yeah.
So much fatalism, man. I need
Yeah.
like.
It's a little.
Yeah.
It's a little dark.
When the
Got to
world
the
was a
first
little
season.
bit more like I'll keep it in my music, you know. I can kind of
Yeah.
use conjecture
Actually,
there.
no, that's fair. The last episode or two made me want to die. Manga. I lost faith in all humanity.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what it's designed for. Evangelion too.
Woo!
Evangelion. That was
fatalist.
yeah, but the cynicism at the very end. I didn't pick up on it until the Netflix.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so whatever you need.
Yeah.
I realized I need another cup. I failed everybody.
Oh no!
Reuse mine.
Oh,
Hey,
I could have.
or I can
Wait.
grab a glass.
Okay. Or like I could have. Well,
Or you can
here you can have this.
I'll just
I can reuse mine.
okay,
That'll be for you
okay.
reduce,
or
reuse, recycle.
Josh.
Oh, here's another clean one. We have one more clean
Okay.
one.
Okay, so
You
Josh
need-
is gonna reuse
I'll
his.
reuse mine.
Okay.
So then we're good. Okay.
You're not on
So
camera
this is
talent. You
the,
can suffer.
Blood of Our Enemies
That's just great. That's
with
what
pepper
everybody
spice.
wants, right?
With pepper.
What's the percentage on this bad boy?
6.7. It's really more like a. It's really more like a closer to 6.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard because there were so many obstacles that I had to overcome, and I'm still not done. Canning tomorrow is going to be the big one.
Mm-hmm. Could I snag a little bit?
Yeah, but you want a beer, yes? Why didn't you?
Yeah, sorry.
I knew that. I'm paying attention. Hello, host with the most over here. Let's
Good,
get
good,
everybody get drunk.
All right.
Tell me when. Say when. Say when.
That's fine.
Okay.
I just want a little taste.
Yeah, fair enough. What were we talking about? Hello?
Spice. How
What
it was a
of our
little bit
enemies?
difficult, you said?
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff like that because I wanted to make sure I wanted it to be nice and red. It's pretty red.
I feel like
Tastes like an IPA. I was hoping to
I love
get
the way it
something
smells.
a little
Yeah.
more bold. And the thing is that I've added peppers to beers before.
It's very bitter at the end.
Yeah, nice little Amarillo hops.
Interesting.
I like that.
You'll notice a little
I
bit
like
of the
that.
finish.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of spice in the finish.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Because I'm a delicate little.
That is.
I didn't want to get heartburn in a glass for anybody. So
That's fine. Although maybe one day you should try and just see what
I really like
happens.
that.
yeah, well you
This
can
is
always
so
you can
good.
always add more.
Josh, what are your thoughts?
He's swishing it around.
You swishing?
Swishing? Swish.
It is kind of like an IPA.
It is. It's a red IPA.
Yeah.
So it's got the hop component, but it's got that
Yeah, it's a
caramely,
IPA, yeah.
that caramel base, and then
And apparently this is going to be paired with some burgers on the 23rd. Is that
gonna get
correct?
burgers and donuts. It's gonna
and donuts. This is-
I gotta give you the
Damn.
spiel, Matt. Matt,
Let's go.
Matt set all this up.
How late are y'all running to?
What's up?
How late is it going to on the
I
23rd?
think well, it's 9 in theory.
9? Okay.
Okay, so the whole spiel is Wednesday the 23rd is going to be our release date. They're going to be releasing all over the week. I got my buddies in Nebraska doing this. I got my friends on the other side of the state at Wake Brewing doing this.
Cool.
They're collaborating with all these awesome bands and great people. There's so many in Canada. It's like over 20 breweries, and and performers.
Nice. I like
But
that.
the 23rd is our day because we're open. We're closed Monday, Tuesday. So the 23rd, Blood of Our Enemies will be released. This is a promotion between Indie Merch Store, Yakima Chief Hops. They gave me the Azaka hops that I added to this beer.
Wow.
Gives it that real earthy.
It's very,
That's part of the promotion. And then Heartbeat Hot Sauce is one of the other sponsors. So
I love good hot sauce.
oh well, then if you love hot sauce,
This is really good.
the first 40 orders of 4-packs of Blood of Our Enemies, you're going to get a free bottle of Heartbeat Hot Sauce.
So I'll see you Wednesday.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn.
And then we're going
Yeah.
to have a biker dude making burgers.
Hell yeah.
I love that.
And then we're having a donut made by Violet Crumb. I think they're making a donut for us that
one?
day. Yeah, like
Just one
just one.
donut.
It's mine. It's mine. You can't have any.
Or I'm picturing like a giant fucking donut.
Yeah.
Like a donut the size of 2 tables, you know? And you grab a slice of the donut, like a slice of pie.
Oh my god, yeah, that sounds terrifying. I mean, amazing, but terrifying. I don't know. This is
half a
These-
slice for a serving. You know,
these are
it's
my.
just so
This is
big.
like my only form of carb. Like it's like I barely eat bread anymore. It's like I'm just trying to pretend. Just always trying to watch the figure.
Oh yeah.
Sick,
you got-
relying on my adorable personality all the
in
time.
this
Just wanna-
Instagram world we live in.
Yeah.
You gotta-
Yeah.
I thought I'm done being cute. Just animal magnetism. That's all I
Yeah.
want. Get the abs.
Get the abs, get the butt.
I'll make a 40-year-old
booty.
white man interesting
Yeah.
again. No. Let me show. Then they'll care what I have to say when I get the abs. I'm just
Hey,
gonna talk about
hold
Muppets
up.
for 45
Yeah.
minutes. That's what we're gonna do. I love Muppets. I'm
People
glad they're on
listen.
Disney
Hey,
Plus.
hey, though.
I don't- what?
Abs are not really in anymore, okay?
What?
I talked about this on the air, that there's,
Oh, Shite.
there's like 100,000 people surveyed. This is a huge ass survey.
Okay, well that's
And-
100,000 dumbass people.
No, but more of them preferred dad bods over abs. I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah,
They have daddy issues.
They might.
They have daddy.
That's a whole other story there.
There's a
Well, also, I don't like that it's called dad bod, right? If you remove the dad from it, it's probably like more of a healthy person. I feel like the idea is if somebody has like
What's the-
6-pack abs, then they're constantly worried about their figure. They're constantly worried about
You
their
don't have to be
diet.
constantly
You know,
worried
my
about
here.
A lot
Okay.
of body types can't
Let
do
me-
6-pack abs without like constant worrying about the diet. Yeah, because you have to be so strict about like your carb consumption and your protein consumption.
You just
It's not like it's not like beer is gonna be not a part of my lifestyle.
Right.
It's like
I don't know, I'm
there's
just-
other circumstances.
Yeah.
No.
I
But
think
my,
there's-
okay, here we'll give my
Probably
neuroses because this gives the
contention in
entertainment
that.
dollar.
Yeah.
I just don't want to end up like a T-Rex because it's not like the beer gut's gonna go away. But it's like how much am I gonna do my arm work? That all of a sudden it's like I'm a pair with you, the twin. I'm like,
That's true.
That's my concern.
Hey, that's a fucking fair point.
Just dinosaurs died.
Dinosaurs died. I don't want to.
We don't know how. We don't know how.
I think the devil put dinosaurs here.
No.
To test that he buried
Yeah,
it. Just went around with a shovel.
Yeah.
Just went around with a shovel. Got to call them Jesus horses now. That's
Jesus
what
horse.
that's,
I love
that's a Jimmy.
that.
That's a Jimmy Fallon one, right? No, I'm sorry. That's
Oh man, I laughed at a
Jesus
Jimmy
Christ.
Fallon joke.
hey man.
That's like probably his only good joke though. Jimmy Fallon sucks ass. He's so
I just remember when he
boring.
tried to be Adam Sandler.
Oh my god, stop.
I don't know. The Tonight Show was like should have been Conan, but then that's
Yep.
all right.
Yeah,
Should have been
should've.
Conan.
Yeah.
But even,
Conan actually was
I don't know.
funny.
Even Conan doesn't like really do it for me
Oh,
much anymore.
you're wrong. You're
Yeah,
so
I
wrong.
think
Really?
you're wrong on this one.
You're
Okay.
so wrong. I love
Well,
Conan so much. I made a
get-
beer inspired by the Conan O'Brien show, and you know what's so funty? I made
Can we
this.
hear about
What?
this?
Yeah. I made
What?
last year. My first contribution to the menu at Dry
Holy
City
shit.
was a double IPA called Bulletproof Legs, because it was starting the pandemic, and
Yeah.
I was listening to Conan's podcast as I
Yeah.
do
That's
as a
what you
serious
really gotta
as a
get
serious
Okay, I haven't-
metalhead.
I
The
haven't.
Conan podcast.
Yeah, it's funny as hell.
Conan and Friends.
And they were just talking about this comedian who was my favorite from the original show. His name's Brian McCann. He did so many characters. He did FedEx Pope. He did Preparation H. Raymond. But there's a sketch called Bulletproof Legs.
Okay.
And it's like, and Will Arnett was talking about it. I'm like, I don't know if I've seen that. So I checked it out on YouTube because he has all of his catalog up there. And I'm like, this is so stupid. I absolutely love it. It's one of those slap happy late night things. I'm like, with all the crap with the pandemic, I was just like, I need that. Just the thought of it made
energy.
me laugh so much.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to name this beer Bulletproof Legs.
Okay.
Coincidentally, I found out that the comedian, Brian McCann,
Mm-hmm.
is from Wheaton.
Really?
Interesting.
His family
Huh.
came by. Yeah, his dad, his cousins, they posted it because they knew the reference. And so he messaged Dry City going, oh, I got to meet you guys and everything. I'm like,
Wow.
I would love
Wow.
that. This is our ticket to stardom, man.
Yeah.
I'm going into show business. This is
going
this is
viral.
the whole thing. I got into brewing so I could get back into show business.
Of
Right.
So I'm
course,
trying
as
to-
you do. Right.
It's like I showed up with a kazoo to the Yakuza guys. And I'm like, this will compliment your sax well, Bruce. Come on, I'm here for you. I'm here. He's like, no, Wheaton's your home. I'm like, technically, I'm from Naperville, but I work in Wheaton.
Damn.
No, just that's okay. What were we talking about again? I know that was.
That was a really long...
So Conan O'Brien is awesome. That's all I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
Listen to the episode with Dana Carvin. Great.
I don't
Anyways.
listen to the Conan
I was having
podcast.
6 grasshoppers
Yeah.
and a hooking crook.
Let's get back to
Brewing.
the.
We talked about brewing. We talked about this.
Well, let's get
this
back to the
event.
the event. With
Okay,
the
I think-
Yakuza.
Did we talk
Yeah,
about it?
dude. Yakuza is going to be there as guest DJs
Oh, right.
because we can't have a metal band play at Dry City. We shouldn't.
Yeah.
We're already
it's,
so popular in downtown Wheaton. They love us so. The people love drinking for us, but you know,
People love
the powers that be. You know,
powers that be. For some
This guy-
reason,
Really?
You know.
out to get you.
Nah, I don't know. I whatever. It's
Yeah, we're
neither
not
here
doing
nor there. We're just gonna have a good time because, you know, it's not like with Yakuza the band. It has such variety. If you haven't listened to them, highly recommend.
Okay.
What's the song? Man is Machine. It's badass. But Bruce can sing clean vocals. He plays the saxophone.
Saxophone.
Yeah. Like that was kind of the thing. Like you want to be unexpected, like adding pepper to a beer like this.
Yeah.
But he made sax in metal work, and he can
Interesting.
also do the growls.
Wow.
Wow.
He's
Well,
in
that makes
so
sense. I mean, you need the breath support for that. And
Oh,
if you're
dude.
playing sax, you gotta.
Yeah.
Well, he's got this other band where he does the sax called Brain Tentacles. It's amazing. No, like you should he has so many bands. I could look up Bruce Lamont and find out how many bands he's in. So many genres.
I love it.
And then what he I went and saw
feel
him.
the pepper here now.
Yeah.
Like I feel it in my chest a little bit.
I
Yeah,
like it.
but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like you can still come back for more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like complete heartburn. Sorry.
I know, right? Yeah, you just it's just so.
So
As our voices drop lower and lower.
they're gonna be there Wednesday,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yep.
So Wednesday, that's the big thing. That's the
Traffic,
release
they're gonna
date.
show up,
You got
yep.
Yakuza. You got
You've got all their bandmates. That's
you got the burgers. You got the donuts.
burgers, donuts.
Okay.
I've
So
got
this
a
is
couple.
the
I got my
whole
Slimer. Their Slimer will be available because my Slimer ran out, as you know. Or whatever variant it is. But this one's all Eldorado, so it's gonna be pretty good.
Nice.
All Eldorado hops. It's gonna have almost like a different kind of a tropical sweetness to it.
Cool.
That's one of my IPAs, my hazy IPA, because hazy IPAs make the money, and
Yeah.
I like
What's
'em.
when did that start popping up? I feel like that's more of a recent thing in the past
IPAs?
year, maybe. It was the hazies.
Yeah, well, we've been working on the IPA game, like hazies in general, or hazies at Dry City.
Not just hazy, like in the beer world in general. It feels like hazy IPAs have just like exploded. It's like every place has started having 2 or
It's
3
for
hazy
hop
IPAs.
lovers. It's for hop lovers that really appreciate the aromatics, and these new hops, with what they can do, the flavors that you can the aromas that you can extract from them, is just mind blowing. So many different flavors. There's this one called Huel Melon. Like literally, you can get melon flavors from them.
Wow.
Melon?
Yeah.
Melon?
It can be done. It can be done. What Strata smells just like the marijuana.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Strata
because that was the
Mosaic-
first. That was the
Mosaic
first
steak.
hazy that I had because
Yeah.
it was called like something 420.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
And it like I got it and it
Hippies,
smelled.
hippies and metalheads.
It smelled like weed. And I was like, what
Weed United.
is
Yeah,
this
that
magic
meme.
that we have here?
I try to stay in my lane and stick with the drinking, but sometimes I partake. Now that it's legal.
That means.
But yeah, no, I remember getting it. I think
It
we
was
were
at Dry
at.
City. They had one at Dry City.
What,
They don't-
weed? We don't serve weed at Dry City. How dare you? How dare you?
No, the first time I experienced
Our
the
Christian
420 was
brewery,
at
The blessed city of Wheaton.
Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
That's right.
Yeah, and they handed it over to me. I was like, "Who's smoking weed?"
Plenty more, everybody.
He's like, "Oh, it's my beer." Huh,
Yeah.
this is bizarre.
Is it good?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
That
it's
one
really
wasn't.
nice.
That one.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Oh, I see. I don't.
But after that, hazy IPAs that I had were, I like fell in love with them.
Interesting.
Yeah, they do. I mean, hops and cannabis are related anyway, so
Right.
that's a line to draw. But what you do is you can just mix those hops, and like right now, I'm still in the learning process. So every time I make a Slimer, I'm following the same base, and then I'm kind of tweaking the dry hops, which is what you do when you add the hops after the brewing process.
Okay.
It just gives you a pure aromatic trait, aromatic components, and that's what hazies are all. Yes.
Normie question: is that the same thing as like when on certain bottles it says like double brewed or double? What does it say? Like I had an IPA once that was like double
Triple hopped.
or triple hopped. Yeah. Is that a similar process?
Here's a trick.
Something else.
My old from one of my favorite brewery tour guides. All beers are triple hopped. It's a component within the hour of the brew process. When you brew for an hour, you don't always brew for an hour, but there are 3 components to the hops. Typically, there's always exceptions because it's like music. You know, you can have all your rolls and then just throw it out the window.
Right.
Okay, fill
Right.
a glass. But then you do. There is. Oh my god, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Flavoring hops.
Okay.
Well, bittering hops is the first one. That's the first one. Top of the hour. Then it's flavoring hops. And then it's aromatic. Those are the 3 components. 1, 2, 3.
Interesting.
Yeah, when it's triple hop for your pleasure. Yeah, the ones who promoted that one.
It just,
We know that's.
something that's
Oh yeah,
normal.
that bites. You know, that sells. Yeah.
Okay.
Triple hop for your ice cold mountain water commercial
Okay.
cigarettes, puppets,
So it's
Super Bowl.
normal, basically.
Yeah.
is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
So it's just an advertising.
It's kind of like saying,
Technique
it's kind of like a restaurant going, we always use the finest ingredients. It's
Right, it's like bullshit.
who is gonna go? Sometimes we use the most economically plausible and locally relatable. Hey, come on, watermelons are out of season. What do you want? Some like
I do want a commercial like that.
somebody.
The authenticity.
I gotta work here. I gotta make the money.
Yeah.
And now they want to raise the wages. What do you want? Landlord's not gonna change. What do you need? Like. Yeah, this became a political rant. You're welcome. Look at how multifaceted we are.
We never got around to talking about how you got into brewing. We gotta discuss this. How did you, a metalhead in college, theater kid who loved metal, get
Starring
into
in
brewing?
Grease.
Starring in Grease. Get into brewing beer.
The best way to describe it is after going to Three Floyds after Grease, I was just so fascinated by beer. And I've had little dabbles. My brother, he was a technical theater guy, he brought these awesome Belgian-inspired beers. Like, this is almost at the same time, from when he was at the Glimmerglass Opera House, this brewery called Omegang. So I had all these Belgian beers that were really, really cool. So I had kind of little tasters. But I was a mile away when I was doing my first sojourn out into pretending to be a grown-up. Mm-hmm. I was a mile away from this restaurant called the Hop Leaf, which is pretty iconical beer establishment in Chicago. They started in the mid-'90s. The owner, Michael, is from he's from Detroit. He moved in the late '90s, and he was one of his things is he put a Bell's sign up at this place. It's a phenomenal restaurant. It's a Belgian style restaurant.
Food is delicious.
Food is delicious, and the beer selection is unparalleled.
Where is it?
Chicago.
Chicago,
Just in Chicago proper?
yeah, North End, Andersonville. Technically, I think it's
Okay.
Foster and Ashland.
Haven't been there in years, but
Oh,
food is excellent. Beer is excellent.
Field trip.
Took my
Yeah. Let's do it.
got to take my wife there before I went and saw. I took her to her Pro Jam. It's like I like to park in a neighborhood
Yeah.
away. Hey.
I'm still love.
Hey, we've talked. Eddie.
Sorry.
Eddie cares. Eddie
No,
cares.
I love
Eddie cares that a dipshit metalhead went to his show,
Yeah.
and he put. I'm like, I know all these songs. Is that Dennis Rodman?
Sorry.
No, it's good shit. No, but I love the Hop Leaf. And while mommy's little actor was trying to chip away financially, I was right by the hop leaf, and I'm like, well, technically, this is all research, so I'm learning about all these different... Ooh, Poppering's Hammelbeer, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. An Imperial Red, oh, what's that? Double IPA. Oh, you have 3 Floyds? I'll get all 3 Floyds. Give me all your 3 Floyds. So many different things, but back then, Chicago was known for an importer. I just kind of hit right at the wave when everything was kind of starting to pick up. So I knew my way around enough, and I had an unwavering enthusiasm. And luckily, things sort of kind of came together. By the end there, I had a band called the Hyrax. I was trying to kind of make all that stuff work as an actor and a musician. It wasn't. So by the end of 2009, I started looking for real work. And there was a place in, do you know what I mean? Like more consistent establishment, respect.
We all know, yeah.
Yep.
I just didn't have the hustle, I was like, I tried to be an actor, wasn't handsome enough. I was lazy. Wanted to be a musician, wasn't handsome enough. Lazy. There's one or the other, I was just that was just being one of those typical dudes who was like, nothing's working out. It's probably some other external thing that's not my responsibility at all. Oh, wait, it was. I learned that one. I changed my ways when I was 35. So I got a job at this this beer-enthused bar in Plainfield that no longer exists. Having no service experience, but I could bullshit about beer for hours. Just through my... frankly, a crippling addiction. No, it's not a crippling addiction. But, no.
Adventures.
I just had an enthusiasm, and I tried my way through as a server. I could perform on stage. That's easy. I always did that. I was used to that. But nothing gave me more crippling performance anxiety than waiting tables. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, all my worth is based off of what I'm doing at the moment, and whether Larry wants onions or not, and if I remember. And it's like, I have to care a lot more. I publicly apologize to anybody who worked with me in the service industry. This was 2010, all the way to about 2013 when I got out of it, or 2014. My wife, bless her, she helped me kind of. Because I was still doing gigs. Right. I was still trying to act and be a musician. After a while, it's just like, yes, clearly I like beer, but I need to start taking care of stuff after my third financial mulligan and going back with my folks. Mm-hmm. TMI, my life story.
It's a podcast. That's what it's for.
I was homebrewing. I was doing that sort of stuff. You see, this is the thing. I'm trying to illustrate that most brewer interviews I've ever heard, it's kind of like they just kind of go, well, I showed up at this brewery. They thought it was kind of cool. I interned for a little bit, and then I became a brewer. That was no way how my story was. And before I knew it, I got
homebrews.
I did homebrews a bit. Yeah. They were terrible. I then, between jobbing and auditioning, I found out that the local brewery was hiring. And I had earned a skill as a forklift driver, and I'm like, okay, I can do I can do work. Like, this hourly work, I can actually do it. I pulled my head out of my ass and learned how to work. And then, the local brewery was hiring, and I was just like, I'm going to do everything I need to do. And I started packaging. And unfortunately, being a theater guy in a manufacturing plant was quite a hard wake-up call. It was a rough few months there. Mm. And that place was pretty strong. It's a very make-or-break sort of a place. They're a multi-state brewery. I learned to clean my just all the proper techniques to facilitate the best beer that you can make with some pretty amazing equipment, including operating a centrifuge, which is all designed about making beer clear. And then the trends changed.
Clear?
Yeah. The clarity
translucent?
Finding clear, well, like your crystal clear beers, like they did so long. And then the hazy trend came along.
Okay.
And then before I knew it, it was told from the high-ups, I was operating the centrifuge, like, Hey, we're trying to make a hazy now. Oh, we are? Okay. I thought you publicly said to a bunch of people you'd never, ever do that. Cool. So it's just like, hey, use this thing, but use the bypass. I'm like, okay. This very expensive piece of equipment. Okay. Okay, I'll try it. I was so good at doing my job, keeping the beer clear, that even when I tried not to, I couldn't do it. The beer tasted amazing, but it was still very clear. So I had that job. I worked there for over 5 years, and then I just kind of knew that my growth there was not gonna happen, and a new Dry City was opening up. Dry City had an opportunity,
Right.
and I'm just like, I can't say that I've been there, but I showed up, I checked them out, I thought the beers were all pretty solid, and I can certainly, while I'm not a great server, I know how to do it. I have made beer. I'm not like a fully knowledge brewer, but if I get a little bit of knowledge imparted on me, I could probably do really well. I think I've got some ideas. So I got hired there almost 2 years ago.
Nice.
That's
That's where you had like.
That's where I became a brewer.
Yes.
I was always brewer adjacent. I was always like either shoving it in people's faces or making sure it's in the best
Clear.
shape it can possibly be to be served to a customer.
And now you were kind of the.
Head brew guy.
Now I've developed. They give me a lot of options. I try to do what my owners want to do. I make sure that they're happy with the work I'm doing, but they trust me enough to do what's right most of the time. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so you've probably grown exponentially with that kind of freedom now, haven't you?
It is. It's so different from being like tell me what I'm doing and let me do the work, which I got really used to. Then all of a sudden it's like, well, what do you think we should do? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Was that intimidating at first?
Incredibly. It still is. I'm trying to just kind of make sure that the program, we make sure we have enough beer going, and right now with everybody coming in, it's hard to keep up. So
Well,
That's a good problem
thing,
to have.
right?
yeah, I like it. I just want to make sure that my bartenders have beer to sell.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
there's going to be a point where I just keep putting the pedal to the metal, and I'm not going to stop. I'll keep going.
Cool.
Our place is just so small that, it is what it is. I don't expect to get Lagunitas numbers, or start a full canning line, but I love that that people like the beer, but that our place is a comfortable
Yes.
place, accepting place.
Well, I think that's
to hang out.
It's such a unique experience because there's nothing else like it in Wheaton. It's very unique to itself. You're not getting these beers anywhere else. It's something that you can only get there, and it's your inside space is really nice and
It's cozy.
homey.
Yeah.
You got couches. You got it's art everywhere on the walls. It's really homey. Yeah. Makes you feel at home, comfortable, chill. It's like a place you can just go and hang out. Whereas, other places you kind of you go, you get your beer, your food, and then you just bail. But
Right.
Dry City, you want to hang out all night.
We don't want to turn and burn. I don't want people to feel
Yeah.
turn and burn, unless they're kind of jerks, and then gladly.
Then you want to.
Here's a growler, get out of here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But every time I'm there for a decent amount of time, and I'm seeing everyone else sticking around for a decent amount of time. I just played there last night, and there was maybe like 5 tables that were there the entire time since I started playing to the end of the night. And just people love the beer, they love the vibe, and
When you do Black Hole Sun, that
Thank you.
it's very good. I'm just like, I'm sure you just want me to come up there and back you up and go, Black Hole Sun, just do that. That's what you want. That's what every vocalist performer wants, is a guy going, hey, come on, let me help you. I'm over here. That's great. Did that once to a karaoke guy. That was I'm like, oh,
Well, it's karaoke.
probably shouldn't have done that. That was a long time ago.
At least it was karaoke though, not like a real band or something.
Well, because karaoke was when I was a theater guy, karaoke was like oh man, I love rock music. Oh boy, someday I'll sing in a rock band. But right now I'm just going to go sing Don't Stop Believing, and these people are going to love me. And then after a while I'm just like, I'm going to play whatever song I want. It feels good singing, but not doing this for anybody.
For sure. Actually, speaking about music really quick too, you've mentioned before that you're in projects, you're in bands, you're a good singer. Are you still...
You started in Greece.
You started in Greece?
I didn't star in Greece. I was just one of the guys.
No, you led the show.
Are you still currently active in music, even though you have this big responsibility at Dry City?
Nope, I just annoy musicians and tell them what I think they, that's just like, oh, you guys, it'd be so cool if you did this. No, I do not have any current musical projects. I would like to. I'm never say never, but I'm right now making sure Dry City's keeping going is my number one priority.
Sure.
I don't know. I've been trying so hard to get back to my guitar. And play some more stuff. I mean, we were even shooting the idea of maybe me doing like, help yourself.
Oh yeah, this might be my new favorite. This is
thank you. You got plenty of it.
Josh, would you like some more?
Sure. I want to finish my lager.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I think so.
No, everybody, let's all slow down here. We're all getting drunk. There was an idea maybe sometime I'll do some covers on acoustic, but that's just not my way. Like,
sure.
The acoustic thing is like, hey guys, you want to hear some John Mayer?
Yeah.
I did play John Mayer.
You did?
Look, I'm sorry, yeah, I know, right?
Stop this train.
I meant to tell you that.
That's a good one.
Oh, dude, nice. I just meant to tell you, yes, yeah.
It's existential one.
Yeah, it's
Stop
very
this
relatable.
train, please. It's very relatable, yeah. At least that one's good.
I had to learn it because I needed to teach it to a student, and then I was like, oh, shit, this is actually really fun to play. And I feel this.
I made fun of John Mayer when I was younger, but now I actually feel this. Please don't stop.
I mean, he may be a D-bag, but...
Right.
When I was in college, my sister-in-law's brother, he's like the polar opposite of me. He's he's a super sweet guy. But he and I would always I don't know. Yes. He was always into Dave Matthews and all that stuff. And we were friends and everything.
Dave,
and
man?
Hey,
you want to go see Dave?
I like Dave though.
I've seen Dave.
Have you seen Dave?
Oh God, I felt so awkward going to that show. I was at Alpine. I'm like, well, someday I'm going to be a musician, so I've got to go have a broad expanse of all the different shows. I was so scared there.
Yeah.
I
was like, I wore my least metal.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything. Like, I still had my black denim on. It's like,
yeah. What is least metal to you, wardrobe wise? What would you pull out?
I mean, I have suits, but they're like.
You don't wear a suit to Dave Matthews.
No, but this was also years ago, so I probably had some shirt that wasn't. I think honestly, it was an Electric Mayhem shirt, like the Muppet Band. I think I had that on. And probably some pair of almost sandals, like Keens or something like that.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah, the sandals. That's
sandals. That's
Dave. That's Dave.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool.
So annoying.
It was cool.
Not your thing.
And then I also saw Maroon 5 and John Mayer. And I'm like, wow, what are all these people? Oh, those are girls. That's a show. Like, I didn't
real live girls?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just a different vibe. But he and I were always like, hey, check this out. And then he'd go see In Flames or whatever with me.
Hey.
Like, we were just
I like
that.
Though.
And he was the first drummer of my band. But then he had a real acting career, so he needed to go do that. It's like, okay, cool. Finding a drummer is always the most difficult part. So if your guys can find
No, it's hard.
Yeah, if you could make a way to work around it, it's like, good on you.
I just forced my friend to drum for me, and he...
Or you do pull broken robots and you get a drum...
That's honestly what I should do.
Drum machine, yeah.
God, screw drummers. You hear that, drummers?
No, absolutely
You're
not.
all shit.
They are overworked. That's a big-ass ant. Hold on.
They
Can I
are.
kill it, please?
Don't do
Oh,
it.
shit.
Can I kill it with this?
I should probably...
Wait.
Where'd you come from, bro?
Is this okay?
Turn the camera away. I gotta look at my phone.
Sorry, buddy.
Why'd you have to do that
buddy.
right in front of me?
Oh, I'm sorry, but he's way too big. That is like a centimeter big bug.
It's popping back up.
Decent size
That's a big ass ant. Let me
Yeah,
see if I have anything in my backpack. Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
Do 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 do.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Just use that.
I'm sorry, guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. It's just you would have had a great.
This
night.
is gonna be all in the show, right?
Yeah.
We're keeping this in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna get so much flack for murdering this ant. People are gonna be like, "You didn't save
I
it."
Peter's coming
I
after
don't.
us.
That's a really big ant.
Pepita wants to kill pit bulls, so they can go fuck themselves. I'm a pit bull daddy. I got a pit bull.
His death sends the release the endorphins out to tell the other ants, be like, no, don't come here.
I will only eliminate any insect if my wife tells me to. That's just kind of otherwise, just kind of let them be unless they get away.
I choked on air.
I hate it when I choke.
I breathed in and I'm just like, oh, now
Okay.
I breathed air down the wrong pipe. It went down the wrong tube.
So
that was weird. Sorry.
no, all good. I'm just thinking of how to like wrap this up a little bit. So
I know,
talk
I feel like you
talk
answered
about
one
brewing.
question. I wouldn't shut the hell up about everything else.
Lenses and genre. That's fun. No, this is a fun.
No, dude,
episode.
Yakuza is such a badass band.
Yeah.
And then everything about them. Their bassist, he's going to have his first show with his band called Hate Monger. And they're going to be at the Beat Kitchen on the
Beat
I love the Beat
Kitchen.
the 31st
I played it.
with Cardiac Arrest and Nun Slaughter.
Such a good time.
Yeah.
But they're just all nice guys. And then Matt is the lead vocalist of Cryptopsy, which is an extreme metal band. And that's a whole other genre. Where it's like, because black metal's like a solid wall, but extreme metal is just it's just intense.
Avant-garde metal.
I would hazard, but there's a pretension there that I don't think always hits
Even
well.
if you don't like metal, you gotta respect the creativity in the names.
The skill set though,
Yes.
was my guys who did my old record. They're in this band called Warforged, and that's also extreme metal. That's just you gotta listen to it. It's hard to describe. Like
Interesting. Okay.
fast, furious, goes different directions.
Fast and Furious.
Okay.
Apologize
No.
to China.
Oh. 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 God, why did you do that? That was such a dick move. Are you serious? Anyway.
At least no Paul Walker jokes again.
Yeah.
Can we, let's wrap it up with just
Yeah.
like, pumping up Dry City. one
Woo!
last time.
Also, we have a show at Dry
Yeah.
City. June 19th. It's gonna be a folk night, completely nothing to do with metal.
Yeah.
I'll come on, and just like
Yeah.
No, I won't be there. I'll be busting my ass making beer, but I'll show up and be just.
Well, yeah, that's this upcoming Saturday when you listen to this episode.
Yep.
And hopefully there will be some Blood of Our Enemies still
On the
on
19th?
tap.
No,
On
it's
the
not
19th?
available till the
No,
23rd,
23rd.
dude.
23rd. Oh, I'm getting my dates.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
thinking
Yeah.
this Wednesday. It's going to be 2 Wednesdays from now.
It's 2
Yeah,
Wednesday.
Wednesday the 23rd is when the brew of the Vox and Hops
23rd.
Brew North America Blood of Our Enemies, featuring Yakuza and Dry City, and Heartbeat Hot Sauce, a biker dude making smash burgers, and we're gonna get Violet Crumb donut. It's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be great.
Give us money, we need it.
I think we're further into June than we are.
Yeah. So that's
But,
gonna be next
Yeah,
Wednesday.
so 19th.
Before that, 19th.
Folk night
Yes.
kind of thing. That's going to be happening every month. And it does seem, what I wanted to kind of mention is that it seems like Dry City is kind of being the home to some just amazing music, songwriters, talent, acoustic players, even if they're not songwriters, they're playing amazing stuff.
I was really hoping you'd just do Whitesnake covers, but you know the
But-
cover band scene?
Oh God.
I know, right?
Too well.
I mean-
too well.
On the other, so you're on the
Not-
inside. Do you think that there's like a real, because you're there a lot more than I
Than
am.
we are, yeah.
Do you think there's a real like surge again or interest, a renewed interest in local music and people actually showing up for it and wanting to?
I think so. I think we're a good night. We're a good night out. We're a good hang. What waits to be seen is where the stage is going to be. Are we going to do it inside? Are we going to do it outside? Because
Right.
we had, thank goodness for our neighbors being so accommodating for us, we had that back lot set up.
Yeah.
But now that we're wrapping up all this delightful fun that has been the last year, I don't know what the ultimate end game on that is. If we're going to be a patio place or we're going to go back to the stage.
Right. Because you guys
Either
do
way,
have a
though.
stage inside.
Yeah, we
It's
do.
like a little-
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the from Twin Peaks. Looks like that, whatever it's called. I can't remember. Not a David Lynch, but that's a reference. Have you ever played? You haven't played indoors there, have you? No, you did the
I
open
did.
mic, right?
I did the open mic, and then not last night, but the gig prior, we moved it inside because it was raining.
Gotcha. being at mercy of the weather has not been one of the best things. Last year the weather was like perfect the whole time, and then this year it's like, but we're only going to rain when you're open.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It does seem like a really nice place, not only to hang out, but also, it's very supportive of local music, very supportive of music in general and the arts. So come out to our show, the 19th show. It's going to be Child of Eve, Mirabel Skipworth, Christina Murray of MMCM, and obviously on the 23rd, there's going to be the unveiling of Blood of Our Enemies, and with that, Yakuza and burgers and donuts. That's so confidently.
Heartbeat hot sauce,
Hot
Scorpion
sauce.
hot sauce. First 40 orders, get it for free.
It's going to be great.
That's awesome. Yeah, come out. Let's help us make Dry City like the music hub.
Yeah.
Let's make something happen here.
Of the Western Burbs, because honestly, there is
If you guys are all right with it.
What? Say that again. What?
a
What is?
music hub.
Yeah, I sure. I'm not gonna say no. I think
Right.
that's one thing we all like
Yes.
as a brewery is we all like music. Different sides. Few more of us are metalheads. Few of us are very much not. But
Right. I think, there's something to be said. We talked about this before with Brooke. Gonna bring it up again on the podcast, this idea that there is not a lot in the Western Burbs as far as, like, local music, original music goes.
There's no opportunities for
Not a lot of
original
opportunities.
artists to play. And
Yeah.
Dry City's been the one place where Brooke is saying, like, yeah, play all your originals.
Yeah, right.
well, it goes to be said that I'd really like if I get a band again, which after destroying my career here, probably not. But you just want to play at the places where you want to hang out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
definitely, yeah.
don't you go to that place where it's like there's a cardboard box in the corner, that's your stage. What do you have to drink?
Water.
Yeah. Well,
Not
no,
even.
I'm not going to name any brands, and I don't want to talk trash about people because
Yeah.
some of those big places treat people well.
Others don't.
Yeah, but
They
you
treat some people well.
but I feel like that's the vibe. But I mean, would you be happy playing at a sports bar?
No, I've done it. It's,
We all have.
the only thing that makes it is the friends and fans.
It's
that
the people who
up.
show up, but then
Yeah.
it's like half the time. Oh God,
then
the
it's like-
Hawks are doing real good.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if they like forget to turn the TVs off. But,
Yeah.
like around the
Yeah.
stage.
But that's
like,
but there are places for it, and there's places that aren't. And
Yeah.
but you just find yourself. God, I remember having to go negotiate getting paid at one place in a certain suburb, not here. It was just like, well, you guys only play this live. Well, you don't care. Like, I get it. You don't want to give the money to us. It's just
Yeah.
all that
Right.
fun hustling.
But then why bother booking a band? Turn on Spotify. If you don't want to pay, if you don't want somebody
People have
there-
ideas of what they think they're going to get,
Yeah.
and everybody expects it to be everyone else's responsibility. You should bring
Yeah.
the people.
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. Yeah, that's a whole discussion.
we have the benefit of kind of I can make what I can make.
Mm-hmm.
If the stuff's popular, I'll make more of it. But it's not like there's not this expectation. You can't have somebody going, "Oh, come in, I have a Budweiser." It's like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
I make something
You.
that
Unique
is a facsimile that can relate to it, but it's not going to be exactly that. So
Right.
kind of check your expectations at the door, and I think we provide something consistent
Oh,
and of quality. So all musicians
100%.
can come in.
yeah. And yeah, I love it all, man.
This is the best wrap up.
I'm
We've been
s-
really, really tight.
That's
No, I'm
fine.
just,
This is interesting.
Yeah, your beers are amazing. I think you really knocked it out of the park with this one. So remember, June 23rd, we'll be there.
Yeah.
Or
I'll
be
drive.
there.
I'll drive from the city to get
Yeah.
here because
Yakuza's going to, so you should.
Yeah. Well, what time? What time?
We open at 3.
At
I don't know.
3,
I don't
yeah.
know when they're gonna. They'll probably be at like 7 or so.
Damn.
I'm just gonna be happy.
Yeah.
I'll
I'm just
try.
gonna
I'll
be
try
having.
my best. I
I
get
don't
out
want
at
to put
6.
any pressure on anyone or anything because
Yeah.
it's just gonna be fun.
Right.
Yeah. And it's cool that you have kind of like the consistent beers that are always pretty much on the menu, like Providence and stuff
Friendly
like that.
Stranger.
Friendly Stranger's been there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also cool to see because it's like, people really latch onto that.
Yeah.
You get a winner. And then it's also just so much fun to see what's new and what's then you'll have things return. You'll bring back like the Sol de Noche and
Yes, I
stuff like that, and it's just a.
So, what's your
fun-
favorite beer on tap right now that you've had? Like, what did you have yesterday that you really enjoyed?
Right now I had the Stash. Or
Stash.
last night I had the Stash.
Stash.
Stash is good.
Stash is great. Now it was all.
Yeah.
That was all.
But I think my favorite before was the Providence. That was always my go-to.
Okay, right on.
I'm more of a stout guy.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
So that was always just like, yes, that's a solid stout. Love it. And then he came out with the Sol de Noche, and I was like,
That one was really good.
Yeah.
Was that the one you got for an after hours?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Woo! That was good. That was beautiful.
So when you bring that one
stout.
back,
Yeah.
I'm gonna probably.
There will be a time.
Yeah.
There will be a time. It's so they just got to kind of play the field and make sure. Because I made all these dark beers in the winter, and then nobody was there.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so we got. I'll definitely be brewing a dark soon.
Cool.
Another dark. But I'll figure out what that is. I think I know what I'm supposed to, but I want to make sure.
Yeah.
Right,
But,
for sure.
Yeah, I
But,
just keep them coming. We've got this honey hibiscus saison I just brewed.
Yeah.
It's almost pink, and I used the yeast that my buddy at Riverlands suggested to use. So it's just gonna be like nothing we've ever done. I even got some honey from Mainland Farms,
Wow.
where we donate some of our grain to, and then we also donate our grain to Sustain DuPage. So none of my grain goes into a dumpster.
Mm.
So I'm proud of
Oh,
that.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
I mean, that was always kind of my first, like, in the 90s, I was that kid wearing those Napoleon Dynamite shirts with the wolves and stuff. Like, that was kind of my first, I was like a Nature Company, rainforest loving kind of guy.
Yeah.
Can't imagine in a blue hell ever going to the rainforest now, but I love,
The idea of a rainforest.
yeah, just I'll hug those trees. But I love the idea.
Well, you're doing amazing stuff. Dry
Yeah.
City is the spot, in my opinion, in downtown Wheaton, and the spot in really most of the western burbs. And just keep it up, man. You got great stuff, and we love it. We're huge supporters. We hope to really, start something with you guys with this showcase. So you guys keep tuned and keep checking it out.
Every third Saturday.
Every third Saturdays, with some exceptions.
Right.
Sometimes we have to reschedule because I want to go, to a concert.
This month and next month, third Saturday.
Right, you gotta live. Though.
Yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
live. So, August it's gonna be the 28th instead of the 21st.
Yes.
But stay tuned for those lineups. Come check out the 19th with the folk artists that we mentioned, Child of Eve, Mirabelle, and Christina Marie. Check out the lovely beers that we got. My personal recommendation is maybe the tried and true Providence. But on the 23rd,
That sounds really good.
come out for the Blood of Our Enemies, because I am actually getting obsessed with this.
Yeah.
It's
What's
so
the
good.
one-
It's
there's-
just the right amount of spice. But anyways,
Yeah.
we're wrapping it up.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mik, for joining us.
We got beer to drink. Let's get going. huh?
Yeah, we got a lot of beer.
No, this was fun. I hope I didn't.
No, it was so much
Wow.
fun.
This is cool.
You were great.
It felt like you asked two questions. And I'm like, well. So it was like this time when
But
I.
it's,
3
but
hours
it's
later.
It's a ramble that is consistent within the realm of that topic.
Well, you're a
Ramble
music
is good.
show, but I'm like,
Yeah.
you want to talk like you want to get any brewer to talk about not brewing, and that's where it is. It's kind of like it's like comedians and rock stars. It's kind of the same thing. Brewers
Right.
you're welcome. So you just get more brewers, and you're gonna hear more about music than you ever wanted.
Noted.
Got your back, guys. Got your back.
Get 'em
We're gonna do
shiny.
9 more of these. I'm just gonna do a supplemental show. I'm just gonna show up.
Show up in the back with the beer.
Yeah.
He brought beer. Let's humor him.
Yeah.
Nothing's on. He's just gonna talk. Thank you so much. Really
Of course,
appreciate this.
Yeah, this was
Thank
fun.
you.
This is
All
fun.
right. Well, you know what's coming up. Thanks
Yeah.
for tuning in. Adela, sign off for us.
All right. Well, first of all, if you like finding out about these local music things, these local breweries, events that are happening in the Chicagoland area, be sure to follow us at the Underbelly Hours on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, also TikTok. God forbid actually no. Come visit our TikTok. We don't know what we're doing on TikTok.
She doesn't know what she's doing.
I don't know what I'm doing
I
on
don't-
TikTok,
I'm-
but I'm trying. So if
I'm
you
gonna
feel
start
like
covering
it,
all the other stuff.
if you feel like it, go ahead. And also be sure to follow Dry City because they have amazing brews coming up and also good summertime events, out there in the beer patio.
He's trying to get it out of the shot. I'm trying to get it in the shot.
It's a great time. It's been a great show. Thanks again to Mik and your Dan.
And you're Adela.
This has been another episode of the Underbelly Hours.
Mik Highbrew Instagram.
In my basement.
Bye. Are you tired of listening to the same bands over and over again?
Over and over and over.
Stop listening to what mainstream media chooses for you
You filthy casual.
and try something new. Tune in to the Underbelly Hours every Sunday night at 6 p.m.
on WRSE 88.7 FM.
for exclusive interviews, unreleased content, and more from the depths of Chicago's underground. I'm Adela.
I'm Dan.
Take off your coat, stay a while!
Now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or anywhere you stream your podcasts, thanks to Ox Audio, a Chicago-based podcasting platform.